Okay, so you've probably looked at LinkedIn ads before. And if you have, I bet you had two thoughts, one right after the other. First, wow, this targeting is incredible. And second, whoa, this is expensive. Am I right? It's a feeling pretty much everyone has. But what if that high cost isn't a problem? What if it's actually a feature that forces us to be smarter and way more focused? That's what we're going to dig into. We're going to reframe that thinking and build a framework that turns LinkedIn's price tag into your secret weapon for landing those perfect, high-value clients.
Here's the game plan for this explainer. We'll start by tackling the big challenge, the cost. Then, I'll show you the core strategy that turns that cost into a huge advantage. After that, we'll get super practical with how to budget and launch your very first campaigns. And we'll wrap things up by making sure you don't fall for some common, costly mistakes. Sound good? Let's dive in. All right, first up, the LinkedIn Ads Challenge, and it's all about understanding that cost. We have to address the elephant in the room, which for almost everyone is that initial sticker shock.
So let's just ask it plainly. Why in the world are LinkedIn ads so much more expensive than what you see on other platforms? It's the first question on every marketer's mind, and it's a totally fair one.
And this really puts it into perspective. Just look at the difference here. On a platform like Meta, you might be paying, $5, maybe $15 to get in front of 1,000 people. But on LinkedIn, that same metric, the CPM, it can just skyrocket. We're talking anywhere from $20 all the way up to $90. It's a massive difference. The reason, of course, is that you're paying for access to absolutely unparalleled professional data. But it means that every single impression has to count. There's no room for waste.
So how do we make every one of those pricey impressions worth it? Well, this is where we get to the big aha moment of this whole thing. It's a complete mental shift in how you approach advertising. We have to go from thinking about mass markets to something way, way more focused.
And this quote, this says it all, really. This is the mindset. You know you're winning at LinkedIn ads when the impression itself has value, even if you never get a single click or a lead from that ad. What does that mean? It means the person seeing your ad is so perfectly your dream client that just getting your brand in front of them is a strategic victory.
Now, to really get this, let's talk about the total opposite approach. On platforms like Meta or YouTube, the best strategy is often what we call burn the ocean. You basically just throw a huge audience at their super smart algorithm, you tell it what a conversion looks like, and you just let it go find your customers for you. It's like fishing with a giant net. It works because it's a massive numbers game.
But LinkedIn is the complete opposite. Here, we burn the pond. Forget the ocean. We want a small, very specific, super high-value pond. LinkedIn's superpower is its targeting. I mean, you've got over 255 professional attributes to play with. Job titles, company size, what industry they're in, seniority level, you name it. This lets you focus every single penny of your budget only on the people who can actually make a huge difference for your business. No waste.
Okay, strategy's locked in. Burn the pond. I love it. But now for the practical question. How much does it actually cost to burn a pond? Let's get into the numbers and figure out how to budget for this thing.
And you know what? The calculation is way simpler than you probably think. You really only need 4 ingredients to figure it out. You need to know your total audience size, how many people are in your pond. You need an estimated CPM. You need a desired frequency, so how many times you want each person to see your ad. And finally, your penetration goal, which is just what percentage of that pond you realistically want to reach.
And this is where it all clicks into place. Let's run a quick example. Let's say your perfect audience, your pond, has 85,000 people in it. We'll estimate a $20 CPM. You want each person to see your ads about 3 times, and your goal is to reach 80% of them. You run the math, and boom, you need a budget of $4,000 a month. See, it's not guesswork. It becomes predictable.
And what I love about this approach is that it completely changes the goal of your advertising. You stop obsessively chasing cheap clicks and flimsy leads. Instead, you start thinking like a real strategist, focused on distribution and awareness. Your goal becomes building real brand trust and recall with the exact group of people that matter the most. That is the real power of LinkedIn.
Okay, so you've got the strategy, you've done the math on your budget. Now for the exciting part. Where do you actually start? What are the first campaigns you should launch that are both safe and effective?
I always recommend starting in one of 2 places. First, remarketing. This is the absolute lowest hanging fruit. You're targeting people who already know you. They've been to your website, they've checked out your company page. It's a no-brainer. The second place is prospecting, but doing it the burn the pond way. We're talking hyper-specific lists, like a list of your top 100 target accounts combined with the exact job titles you want to reach within them.
And speaking of that pond, here's a good rule of thumb. How big should it be? I'd say you want to aim for an audience of under 250,000 people. Why that number? Well, because keeping it smaller and more refined means you can actually hit that audience with enough frequency to make an impact, all without needing a massive budget. It ensures your message really truly sinks in.
All right, last section. And this one is so important because it's going to save you money. When you're just starting out, LinkedIn has a couple of default settings that are basically designed to waste your budget and kill your burn the pond strategy. So let's make sure that does not happen to you.
Okay, beginner trap number 1. There is a little checkbox called Audience Expansion. And guess what? It's turned on by default. This setting lets LinkedIn show your ads to people outside of your beautifully crafted, super specific audience. It totally defeats the purpose of everything we just talked about. So please, always uncheck this box. Stay focused.
And here's trap number 2, which is very similar. It's called the LinkedIn Audience Network. This is another default setting that lets your ads run on a bunch of third-party sites and apps that are not LinkedIn. The big problem here is you have no idea where your ads are showing up. To keep control and focus your budget where it counts, you guessed it, uncheck this box too.
Okay, and one last little pro tip for you. Let's say you're testing 3 different ads in your campaign, but you notice LinkedIn is spending 99% of the budget on just one of them. That's not a real test, right? To fix this, you can go into your settings and switch the ad rotation from Optimize for Performance to Rotate Ads Evenly. This forces LinkedIn to give all of your creatives a fair chance to shine. So, to wrap all this up, the entire strategy, the entire mindset shift, it really boils down to this one simple question. Are you asking, how many leads do we get this month? Or are you asking, how famous are we with our dream clients? It's a fundamental shift, moving away from just measuring short-term actions and toward measuring long-term influence in the market that truly matters. It's about being famous to the people who can change your business.